Hey everybody, so today we're going to be looking at a special type of polynomial, one that is called a difference of two cubes. So an example would be like this problem right here, 64x to the third minus 1. The reason why we call this a difference of two cubes is because I can rewrite this as some number to the third power minus some number to the third power. So if you watched my sum of two cubes video, I went into a little more detail about this. Go ahead and check that out if you haven't seen it. But the number that goes in here, what to the third power makes 64x to the third? A lot of people incorrectly just write in 64x here. And they say, well, then a has to be 64x. The problem with this is if I distribute this 3 like I'm supposed to with my rules of exponents, this would become 64 to the third power x to the third power, which I'd have my x to the third, but 64 to the third power is going to become a very large number, not 64. So the question now is, what to the third power is equal to 64? And so if I think about it, what to the third power would be 64? Well, that would be 4. 4 to the second power is 16, 4 to the third power is 64. And then what to the third power is x to the third. That one's nice and easy. It's just x. So in this situation, my a is actually the number 4x. So a equals 4x. And then in green, I'm going to figure out what my b has to be. So if it's minus something to the third power is negative 1, well, the only possible answer here is just 1. So b is going to be equal to 1. Okay, now we're going to write this into our formula here. This is the form that a cubed minus b cubed always factors into. So now I can write that this is equal to a minus b times a squared plus ab plus b squared. So I'm going to go ahead and write these in. I'm going to leave these color-coded. Light blue is a. So a minus b, that would be 4x minus b, which will be in green. So this will be 1. And then a squared, which will be 4x squared, plus a times b, which will be 4x times b, which is just 1, plus b squared, which is just 1 squared. Okay, so now we can do some algebra here. 4x minus 1, well, that just simplifies the same, 4x minus 1. But here we have here we have 4x, which is being raised to the second power. So that means this is going to become 4 to the second power, x to the second power, plus 4x times 1. Anything times 1 is just itself, so 4x, plus 1 squared, which is 1 times 1, which is 1. Okay, so now last step here, we have 4 squared, which is 16, x squared, which is x squared, plus 4x plus 1. And since this can't be simplified any further, this is going to be my final answer. So to conclude it, 64x to the third minus 1. If I factor it using my difference of two cubes formula, I am going to get 4x minus 1 times 16x squared plus 4x plus 1. I hope this helps. Again, if you want to check out that sum of two cubes example, that's down in the description. If you want to subscribe so that you are the first one to see these videos when they come out, feel free to click on the subscribe button. I hope this helps. Have a nice one.